It is 4 o'clock Tuesday, September the 8th. And I'd like to call this Board of Commissioners meeting to order. Roll call, please.
It's muted.
You're muted, Cindy.
Okay, Commissioner Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Here.
Coonan?
Here.
Eric?
Here.
Ryder?
Here.
Lutz?
Here.
Durancheck?
Here.
All members present.
Thank you, ma'am. Please rise for the invocation, and we're going to have a moment of silence in remembrance of 9/11.
Heavenly Father, we come before you this afternoon, thanking you for the guidance and understanding that you have given this Board of Commissioners. Lord, we ask again today for your help and direction, so this board may make the fair and proper decisions for all citizens of Bay County. In your holy name we ask this. Amen.
And now the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next on the agenda, minutes of the 8/11/2020 meeting. What is your pleasure?
Approve. Support.
We have motion and support to approve the minutes 8/11/2020. Roll call vote, please.
Start with Commissioner Lutz today, please.
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
And Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion to approve the minutes carries.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on the agenda, as we move down, citizen input. Anyone out there like to make any comments or anything, please do so. Hearing none, we'll go on to petitions and communications. First, from the Bay County Democratic Party, recommended alternates to the Bay County Board of Canvassers, Thomas E. Bock and Debra Russell. Motion to receive and concur would be in order.
I move to receive. Ernie Krieger. Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, ma'am.
Commissioner Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
And Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Motion carried.
Thank you, ma'am. Next on the agenda, resolutions of committees. Ways and Means. Ways and Means Chairman, Mr. Thomas Harry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I bring before you resolution number 2020-159, the CASA contract for 2021 from probate court. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
And Durancheck? 7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution adopted.
Resolution number 2020-160, the amended Boca grant for 2019-2020 from the prosecutor. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Discussion. Commissioner Coonan?
Thank you. In reading the background information, I'm not sure. I see Nancy Brusco. I'm not sure if she's there or not. But if not, maybe somebody else can provide some information. It says in the second whereas, it's an unfilled approved vacancy, has existed since May. And then down 3 or 4 more, whereas it says they attempt to expend monies that would normally not have been available in the pre-pandemic years. Is this a position that's based on the pandemic, or what is this? Does anybody know?
I know a little bit. It's a grant position that couldn't be filled because of the pandemic, and because there's money left over. Normally the state won't allow transferring into other line items, but they really don't want the money returned to the federal government, so they're authorizing utilizing that funding. And there's equipment that the prosecutor's office can purchase with that money, and that's what they want to do.
Okay. Will that job be available next year then?
It'll probably be filled after everything settles down. Probably okay. Maybe this year even.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Coonan?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Bigick?
Yes.
Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution adopted.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-161, the DTRF transfer recommendation from the treasurer. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Commissioner Begic?
Yes, Michigan Association of Counties at their recent online conference had some treasurers on talking about this issue and about the concerns of the money that may be due from the treasurer's office. So I agree that it'd be best to keep it on hand because we may be needing it here. It sounds like it's probably going to go through the courts and be allowed that we have to pay back some of that money.
Commissioner Coonan?
Yeah, being that Shauna was here, I'd like to kind of get an update on where we're at, if she can provide that.
Sure. So yes, Commissioner Begic, the Treasurers Association has been working on a legislative solution to the Raffaele issue, and it's something we've discussed in great detail, and we think a potential liability may exist. But we don't know what that will look like, how many years they'll end up going back, how the process will be shaped, which would all impact how much of a liability we truly will have. We also don't know, because of the pandemic, how that's going to impact our delinquent taxes that get turned over in March. Keeping kind of a spot check on how taxes are being turned over. And at one point we were 18% under in tax collections. And at one point we were 10% over. So tax bills aren't due yet. So we don't have a good number, and we really won't know until March. But we expect it to be, slightly under. We're hoping not significantly under, but again, in conjunction with the Raffaele decision, it's hard to think about transferring any money from the delinquent tax revolving fund at this time, since we may need it to purchase delinquent taxes in the spring.
Thank you, Shauna.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Herrick?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Bigick?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
And Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Resolution number 2020-162, the OHSP grant application for 2021 from the sheriff. I move this resolution.
moved. Support, sorry.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
And Durancheck.
Yes.
Resolution approved, 7 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-163, the JAG application for 2021 from the sheriff. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Lutz, please.
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan? Coonan?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
And Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution adopted.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-164, the 2020 Remonumentation Program, the budget adjustments from the Drain Office. I move this resolution.
Support, Begic.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
And Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-165, the billboard agreement with Veterans Affairs from Administrative Services. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Begic, please.
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
And Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-166, the 2021 Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency Veterans Service Grant from Administrative Services. I move this resolution.
Support. We have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Coonan, please.
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution passed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-167, the fiscal year 2020 EMPG agreement from Emergency Services. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Herrick, please.
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
And Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution passed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-168, the 2019 Homeland Security Grant agreement with the City of Midland from Emergency Services. I move this resolution.
Support. We have motion and support. Any discussion? If not, roll call vote, please.
Okay. Commissioner Ryder, please.
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, Mr. Chairman. Motion carried.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-169, the supplemental funding for immunization efforts from the Health Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Commissioner Krieger.
Yep. So is Joel there?
I'm here.
So Joe, do you figure we'll need these people for a full year?
No, I don't anticipate that we'll need them for a full year. The funding is, I believe, is concurrent all the way through about the end of June of next year.
Okay.
So I assume that most of their particular activities are going to be from October through probably March or April of next year.
Okay. And are there people out there to be able to come in and fill these places, especially with all the stuff going on with the COVID? Will we have a problem finding a nurse to come into the program?
Well, we haven't really had significant issues in trying to find nurses in the last few attempts to get them. And I think that given that these are part-time positions, that even someone that is working full-time may be able to supplement their income and enter into employment with the county on this.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Someone else had their hand up. Commissioner Begic.
Yes, and you probably all heard that it's very important this year with the COVID going around that we really push the influenza vaccine and try to get it done as early as possible also. And also, I think, this is a question for Joel, I think there's still a quadrivalent one out for the senior citizen group that they're recommending. I believe that's still the case.
That is still the case. And actually, most of these vaccines that are coming out now are the quadrivalent vaccines. So, or quadrivalent flu vaccine. So that's what we'll be providing in many cases.
I got mine already, the quadrivalent.
Anyone else? Hearing nothing forward, roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Lutz, please.
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution carries.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-170, agreement number DFA 21-09003, eligibility specialist position 2020 and 21 from the DHHS. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Krieger, please.
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
and Begic. Oh, I'm sorry, and Lutz,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
All right, we're good. 7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-171, 4029 form for 2020 from Equalization. I move this resolution.
Support. We have motion and support. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Starting with Begic, please. Begic,
Yes.
thank you. Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Resolution number 2020-172, the 2019-2020 Region 7 Funding for Nutrition Services Incentive Program from the Department on Aging. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-173. We have payables, general, and bayonet from the Finance Department. I move this resolution.
Support. We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Herrick,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution number 2020-174, budget adjustment from the Health Department and from Finance. I move this resolution.
Support. We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Ryder, please.
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Herrick,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Resolution number 2020-175, the Budget Stabilization Fund Annual Review and the adjustment for fund balance for fiscal year 2019 from Finance. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Discussion? Mr. Varsha?
Yeah, very briefly, Mr. Chairman, I just want to say that as the resolution describes, this will bring our budget stabilization account to the 20% maximum level of the average of the last 5 general fund approved budgets. And I do want to, at this time, like to compliment Jan Heisted and, of course, Tiffany Jerry and their dedicated staffs, as well as all of the department heads for the diligent work that everyone did in making sure that we received as many reimbursable costs due to COVID-19 as we can. So we will end the fiscal year in pretty decent shape, hopefully with a very positive balance. And it couldn't have happened without the dedication of a lot of our administrative team and the department heads who prepared all the detailed information that the federal and state governments need to be reimbursed. So I just wanted to mention that and thank the board also for restoring that money to the budget stabilization fund. So that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Varsha. Commissioner Coonan.
Thank you. I had a question. I guess we probably didn't have the audit, or normally we have an audit in June or July, and this is probably based on that audit, but that was in 2019. I don't think that had anything to do with COVID, has it? That's just the money that we have above, the revenue that we have above the expenditures for 2019, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
That's correct. We did end the 2019 fiscal year with a surplus of $806,000. And so we're asking to, of those dollars, we did have our audit. It was complete. We have not had a presentation to the board. There was a discussion out as if we wanted to have that by Zoom meeting or not, so that discussion is still happening. But we did complete our audit for 2019. It is complete and filed with the state. So this would be putting additional funds. At the end of the year, the fund, it does drop into the unassigned fund balance. We would have to pull from there the $319,000 out of the $5,000,001 that we have unassigned right now and actually dedicate that for budget stabilization.
All right, sounds good. I'd like to get a small rendition of that audit. It'd always be something nice to kind of refresh one's memory of. So I don't know if that can be sent electronically or.
Yes, we have the electronic version of our audit, and I can make sure that that gets sent out to all of you.
Well, that sounds good. And geez, I was going to ask another question. Okay, so if we got $7 million in the budget stabilization, another $5 million in fund balance, can you kind of give us a synopsis, or even email me what our total savings would be? Is it over? It's got to be at least $12 million. Is it above that?
We have 14 million as of the end of 2019. And we did, and as Jim had mentioned earlier, we expect to have a surplus in 2020 because of the CARES money that we are going after, you know, trying to get all of the reimbursements that Bay County has allowed. So additionally, the board had approved $150,000 for COVID expenses when the pandemic first happened. We are looking to even have that reimbursed, so the $150,000 would remain in budget stabilization at that time too.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else have any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Lutz, please.
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution passed.
Next, we have the analysis of the General Fund Equity 2020. I move to receive this document.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
And Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, motion carried.
And lastly, we have Executive Directive number 2007-11. I move to receive this also.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Begic, please.
Yes.
Coonan?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
And Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays, resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, that is all from the Ways and Means Committee this month.
All right. Good job, Commissioner Herrick. From Personnel and Human Services, Commissioner Tom Ryder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have Resolution 2020-176. It's purchase of military time for retirement purposes for Gary Phillips at the medical care facility. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Coonan?
Yes.
Herrick?
Yes.
Ryder?
Yes.
Lutz?
Yes.
Krieger?
Yes.
Begic?
Yes.
And Durancheck?
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Resolution 2020-177, vacancies in 911, Central Dispatch, Sheriff's Office, Department on Aging, Juvenile Home, Recreation and Facilities Building, and Grounds, and Health Department. I move this resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Eric,
Yes.
Ryder,
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
That's all we have before the meeting, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Commissioner Ryder. From the Board of Commissioners, this afternoon, we have Commissioner Lutz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Today I bring Resolution 2020-178. It's the resolution supporting the ballot proposal to amend the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Just a little comment. Our county park located in Pinconning has been a recipient of quite a good chunk of grant funds due to this. So this is a good thing. We may be able to down the road secure more funding for new projects or expansions or whatever also. So thank you all for supporting this. And we have Kristen would like to make some comments, I'm sure.
Thank you. The Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund, as Commissioner Durancheck said, has we've received over $870,000 in grant funding since 1988 for Bay County projects, but a total of $6.6 million in our area, you know, including the city and the townships and all the other people who have applied too. So this is a really good grant program that really helps our natural resources, our parks, our rivers, our streams, things of that nature. And I think it's a wonderful thing to support.
Very good. Thank you, Kristen. Any other comments?
Yeah,
Commissioner Coonan?
Yeah, Kristen or whoever, this is going on the ballot, right?
Yes, correct.
So is it just on the, I didn't see the question, so is it just stating that they're going to use those dollars specifically, or is it changing what they've been doing?
The way I understand it is that they are allowing the oil, gas, and mining money from public lands to be used for this again. It stopped for a moment in time, and so the legislature had voted to allow us or this program to receive these royalties again, and it just needs to be approved by the voters because it does change the Michigan Constitution.
All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but I read, I'm almost positive somewhere, that it also raises the cap. After there was so much money in this fund, then the fund went to general fund. Now they're going to raise this cap, which is going to entice or make the trust fund finance projects, more projects. So I think it's a good thing.
Me too.
Any other comments? Roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Ryder, please.
Yes.
Lutz,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Begic,
Yes.
Coonan,
Yes.
Eric,
Yes.
and Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, I bring Resolution 2020-179. It's the reports of the county executive. I move to receive that.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion?
That was Krieger, it sounded like.
Hearing none, roll call vote.
Mr. Glutz.
Yes.
Krieger.
Yes.
Begich.
Yes.
Coonan.
Yes.
Herrick.
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas, 0 nays. Resolution approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next, I bring resolution 2020-180. It's the support for the federal assistance to states and local governments for COVID-19 pandemic. It's a resolution by Commissioner Kim Coonan, 4th District. I move that resolution.
Support.
We have motion and support. Any discussion? Commissioner Coonan?
It's such a well-written resolution. Maybe the clerk could read that, and then we could maybe have a little discussion afterwards.
Sure. Resolution 2020-180 by the Bay County Board of Commissioners. Whereas the coronavirus pandemic and resulting recession are wreaking havoc on the United States, and whereas both state and local governments are facing massive budget shortfalls resulting from the economic downturn, which will significantly affect their ability to provide crucial services. And whereas more than 1 million state and local government jobs have been lost since the COVID-19 crisis began, and those jobs include, but are not limited to, police officers and firefighters, healthcare workers, emergency responders, social service providers, and teachers. And whereas millions more of these workers and the critical services they provide will soon be lost unless Congress and the administration act quickly to help close state and local governments' widening budget gaps. And whereas the COVID-19 crisis has significantly reduced tax revenues that state and local governments rely on to fund jobs and services, and with increasingly high unemployment rates, the lost wages mean a huge decline in personal income taxes. Whereas with nearly a third of businesses shut down at the peak of shelter-in-place rules, corporate income taxes fell. Whereas with few people traveling, going to movies, or purchasing cars, sales tax revenues are dropping at an alarming rate. Whereas property tax revenues will suffer, since home prices and commercial real estate values will eventually slump. And whereas the crisis, however, has caused demand to soar for state and local government services and support programs. Whereas hospitals are packed with COVID patients, and the millions who have lost their jobs are looking for unemployment, Medicaid, and help with housing and other living costs. Whereas at a time when Americans need government help the most, cash-strapped local units of government, as well as states across the country, have no option but to cut the help they provide. Whereas these outlined losses will not be recouped soon, if ever, and whereas federal assistance to state and local governments is one of the most effective ways to support the economy in a downturn, therefore be it resolved that the Bay County Board of Commissioners calls upon and strongly urges the President of the United States, the Senate, and Congress to provide the financial assistance required to aid states and local units of government as they continue to deal with economic long-term effects of COVID-19. Be it finally resolved, the copies of this resolution be forwarded to the President of the United States, our federal and state representatives, Michigan Association of Counties, and the other 280 Michigan counties. Signed, Kim Coonan, 4th District County Commissioner.
Thank you, ma'am. Comments, Commissioner Coonan?
Well, there was a previous, I guess you would call it, monies allocated to a lot of folks, but this particular one, which maybe, if we see something, we should probably let them know that this is something that's important, and hopefully they both, the House and the Senate, will work together to come up with something, because there are a lot of folks out there still hurting, and there will be a lot more if we don't get another package specifically for the local government, the state and the local government. So if we got something, if we send this, and hopefully, other counties and people will let these folks know in Washington that there are a lot of people hurting. So hopefully this will help do something to get them to work together to come up with something to help people out.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Commissioner Begic?
Yes. So Nico, I know Nico has been working on this, especially the first package that came through, and then the Michigan Association of Counties also, they actually have a hotline where you can contact your legislators, a sort of a quick dial with a script thing you can use, or you can ad lib it also. So they've been working hard on it. It sounds like they're getting close. It's sometimes it's a matter of dollars, trillions of dollars, which is quite a bit of money. So I think maybe sometime this week or the next, sounds like they will come together with some sort of a package. Thank you.
Mike?
Mr. Barsha.
Yeah, I just wanted to commend Commissioner Coonan for his comments and the resolution. I too believe that we haven't seen the end of the virus, and we can't anticipate accurately how long this will last into the new year. And so it would behoove the Congress, hopefully the U.S. Senate, would at least come together and find a middle ground compromise with the House-passed HEROES Act to, again, free up resources, especially for local and state governments, because we're looking at some massive deficits at the state level here in Michigan. And while we have weathered the year so far in Bay County pretty well, as I had previously mentioned, so we're restoring that funding, and that was very important that we seek all of those revenues that we're entitled to. But it would be, I think, hopefully a good thing for the Senate to sit down in earnest with the House and work out a compromise so that we can expedite relief to states and local governments around the country. And by the way, the County Executives of America, I'm on the board of directors, and they've been lobbying diligently as well in Washington in the Senate side to do what they can to get some movement on this, hopefully very soon. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barsha. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Starting with Commissioner Krieger, please.
Yes.
Begic.
Yes.
Coonan.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
Lutz.
Yes.
And Durancheck.
Yes.
7 yeas and 0 nays. Resolution carried.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that's all we have from the Board of Commissioners for this meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner. Next on the agenda, reports of the county officials. County Executive, Mr. Barsha.
Thank you, Chairman Durancheck. Just very brief comments. As you know, we lost a very important champion of our veterans' causes in the region here in Bay City with the passing of Mr. Mike Kegley, who played a leading role along with Dick Janke, Mike Boot, and many others in a long 20-year battle to secure the USS Edson for Bay City, Bangor Township on the Saginaw River. And just want to say that I know Vaughn and I saw Commissioner Begic and I saw Mike about 3 weeks ago at a Lions barbecue, and he seemed to be in good spirits and good health. So we're certainly recognize it's a major loss of a guy who was well loved in the community and worked his heart out on behalf of the veterans' cause and his passion, especially USS Edson. So he will be deeply missed by all of us. Also wanted to mention this morning that we had just a ceremonial ribbon cutting at the new My Community Dental Center / Bay County Health Department partnership that will be in the new clinic out on Center Avenue, I believe, in just inside the Hampton Township boundaries, Commissioner Lutz, that will providing affordable, quality dental care for thousands of Bay County residents and even beyond, and I think in the region. I met some of the new staff. They've been open for a week, and in the first week, they've already scheduled 188 appointments. It's for those of you, I think there'll be a grand opening later, early next year, possibly next spring. But we've got a great staff out there, and they're working. And I had a chance to see some of the people coming in to get dental care already this morning at 9 o'clock. So that has been a great partnership with my community dental centers, and I know will be appreciated in the years ahead for people who have dental issues in oral health. Also, I don't know that I can give all the details, but Craig Gillette just shared with me that the animal shelter, in conjunction with the Saginaw Correctional Facility in Freeland, is going to have a program designed in the Iron Paws program specifically to train dogs to be companion animals for veterans. Veterans that might need a little help either dealing with PTSD or the myriad of issues that some veterans face when they return home and as they settle down in their communities. It'll be a great program to specifically train companion animals for our veterans population in Bay County. So that's all I have. If there's any other questions, we can consult with, or if there's any questions, we'll consult with Craig moving forward. But sounds like an exciting new chapter in that program.
All right, thank you, Mr. Barsha.
Thanks.
Next, we go down to unfinished business. I think we pretty much took care of all our unfinished business. New business. Miscellaneous. Under miscellaneous, I'd like to, after consulting with our health director, October's meeting is going to be the same as this is today, and it's going to be held in October, one meeting, just like we're doing today. Kind of looks like from what he's saying and outlook on in the health field that from all over that we're probably going to continue this through the end of the year. Don't know for sure. We're going to take it a month at a time, but October's meeting will definitely be like this same format. I would like to take this time to thank Julie and Jody and Nick for all the work to get this thing all up and running and everything else. It's a task. I mean, look how much trouble sometimes you have with one computer, let alone when you got a bunch of people that trying to get everything integrated. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. And I would like to welcome, I see Marie is listening in. I'd like to welcome her. And that's
Hello.
all I have for miscellaneous. Anyone else have any miscellaneous? Commissioner Begic.
Another plug, the Bay City Lions Club is having a Pawpalooza on the 19th of September at the canteen. Funds raised there will go to the Animal Services and Adoption Center and also to Leader Dogs of Michigan. So that's on the 19th. It's a Saturday from 9 to 2. You can bring your dog and walk them around the course on the outside, and there will be some vendors there with some products to sell also, with safe distancing and masking and no more than 10 people in the canteen at one time. So stop by, bring your dog.
Did I see your hand raised, Mr. Goulet?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just real quick to expand on what Mr. Barsha talked about. We've been fortunate to sort of partner up with Blue Star Service Dogs, and that organization specializes in taking dogs to prisons such as Freeland and Lapeer, and training those dogs to be basically service dogs for veterans that suffer possibly from PTSD or other traumatic type injuries or going through different ailments. So it's a phenomenal program. 2 of our dogs were selected today, and we're expecting even towards the end of the week to have up to 2 more be be selected for that program. So to have dogs come from Bay County to assist with veterans in need is a phenomenal thing. We're very, very proud. I would certainly like to thank the staff here at Bay County Animal Services for thinking outside the box and trying to get set up these animals to be successful and have a wonderful future. And certainly as well, I'd also like to thank Mr. Barsha and the Board of Commissioners, because it truly is making a difference for people's lives. And I know they appreciate it, and I do too. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg, for all your extra hard work and everything too. You're above and beyond. So good job.
Thank you.
Any other announcements? Appointments, October, Land Bank Authority. We have 1 3-year term expiring. Also in October, Department of Health and Human Services Board of Directors, 1 3-year term. November, Building Authority, 1 6-year term. December, Department on Aging Advisory Committee, 4 2-year terms expiring districts 2, 4, and 6, and 1 at large. Ma'am, is there any need for a closed session?
There is not, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Given that, I'll entertain a motion.
I move to adjourn.
Support. We have motion and support. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Begic.
Yes.
Coonan.
Yes.
Eric.
Yes.
Ryder.
Yes.
Lutz.
Yeah.
Krieger.
Yes.
And Durancheck.
Yes. Thank you all again. Good night.
Motion carried.